and reactionary fucking shit stirring. Okay? Obviously, my analysis over the situation is not changed, regardless of the perceived victim coming out and saying, no grooming happened. What the fuck are you guys talking about? This is ridiculous, which they did. Lava GS openly stated that. Okay? But having said that, I do still personally think it's weird to have active discourse with 13-year-olds, especially after you find out that they are still underage. So my position on that has not changed. But it is odd that these people didn't even like go after. These people did not even like for a moment go, well, think about the victims. They immediately went. They immediately went and started launching attacks against like whatever their fucking favorite content creator is to shit on, because they never cared. Anyway, but let's continue. The longtime collaborator and the man behind the 305 million subscriber YouTube kingdom, with its own line of Walmart sold chocolate bars and videos that pull in hundreds of millions of views. Donaldson issued his own statement on Wednesday night saying he's aware of the serious allegations and has taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any association with Mr. Beast. He also stated he would be launching an independent investigation into Tyson's actions. The apologies come in the wake of a flood of new and revisited allegations looking into the 28-year-old's behavior on social media over the past decade. Tyson is a trans woman and has been target of anti-LGBTQ harassment since her transitioning in 2023. This is correct. Recently, videos have claimed that starting in 2016, Tyson, who was 20 at the time, had been interacting online and exchanging messages that included sexual content with a user named LavaGS since they were 13 years old. Lava, who is now a 20-year-old editor, also took a job with Mr. Beast and visited the Mr. Beast compound. Some online have felt Lava was groomed because of their interactions. Neither the Donaldson nor Tyson returned a request for comment before publication. In a series of follow-up tweets, Tyson shared that they have never groomed anyone and specifically mentioned Lava. In past years, I have learned that my old humor is not acceptable, Tyson wrote. I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. Lava backed this up by tweeting, I am not a victim. Nothing bad happened to me between me and Kris, and people are creating lies around my name. This is the victim in question, for the record. I'm not a victim, and I'm not backpedaling any statements I've already made. Everything I've stated is still very true. Nothing bad happened between me and Kris. People are creating lies around my name. Yesterday, while under a lot of stress from trying to get my story out as quickly as possible, I made a mistake and included 2 videos in a tweet that had nothing to do with my situation. Here are the correct videos, and these ones should be taken down. I apologize to creators of our original videos in the first screenshots at you too, and no sense to society. Okay. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Lava said he believes that the 2 creators who originally made videos on the subject twisted his story and misinterpreted him in order to push their agenda. Rolling Stone also spoke with those 2 creators who deny any wrongdoing, believing that Tyson's actions needed to come to light at any cost. Lava has been a fan of Mr. Beast since the early days of the channel, posting a screenshot of the channel's 50,000 subscriber count on Twitter in 2016 and earning a Mr. Beast signed butterfly knife for being a top donor with just $20. That contest earned him a Twitter follow from both Donaldson and Tyson. Around that time, Tyson's social media persona was edgy. In 2017, she posted images online and on her wall appearing in a Mr. Beast video of lolly, or drawn child porn, from controversial internet artist Shadman, which I think is gross, by the way. But I do have an entire list here somewhere of like all of the people. Where is it? All of the people that have like been associated with Shadman, and it's pretty fucking wild. Like it is a massive, like it is a target-rich environment, a list of shame, if you will. Lolly is devious shit. I agree. As a 13-year-old, Lava had been tinkering with newly released messaging app Discord, learning how to make servers and bots. Kris reached out to me and saw I was making a Discord for people. Lava says he was new to it and wanted a bot that could play lo-fi study music, which isn't hard to do. Using what he knew, Lava built Tyson a Discord server for close friends, and he just ended up staying in it and running it, Lava says. According to Lava, Tyson did not pay for the creation or maintenance of the server, and he did it solely for the fun of it and helping build a community of fans for Mr. Beast and Kris. Lava claims that Tyson was unaware of his age until 2018, though couldn't remember the specific details and how it came up. In 2018 and 2019, the pair would play games and communicate in private on Discord. They would also talk publicly on X, formerly Twitter. Great rebranding, by the way. Shouts out to Elon Musk. Lava would call Tyson big boy, dad, sexy, and at one point asked her to be his Valentine. In one reply, Lava asked Tyson about her hentai addiction, referring to drawn anime pornography, and in another shared image of Tyson's computer from her social media with the caption, "This is a bad way to hide your hentai." Though Tyson's side of the conversations have been completely deleted, about 24 of Lava's messages remain up on X. In one interaction, Tyson tweeted an image of her Patreon and said that if she could get one more sign up, she would be releasing my nudes. Lava replied with, "I'm your first Patreon, big boy." And Tyson responded with, "I posted some fire nudes for you. Please no share." In parentheses, no nudes were shared. In a Discord server for gaming YouTuber The Do, Lava posted an image from Tyson's group chat of her in front of an American flag with the caption, "Coming for America." To others, these conversations look inappropriate, but it was nothing out of the ordinary to Lava. "I was at the age where I spoke to all my friends like that," Lava says. "There was nothing more than that. It's how bros talk. I saw Kris as an older brother because he reminded me a lot of my older brother." For the record, this is somewhat significant. I don't know what the proper way to address this is when someone is like a public figure. This is actually a like new territory, but we're talking about someone who's a public figure, but was a public figure as a male presenting, if that's the correct way to explain it, like assigned male at birth, right? So the analysis or the way to like explain it, stop defending this shit. I'm not. What the fuck is wrong with you? What? No, dumbass. I'm talking about how you talk about like a trans person who and their actions online pre-transition. This has nothing to do with like a defense of anything. No. You usually use she retroactively still, but I don't know what the appropriate way is when you're talking about like something that kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. You know what I mean? Pre-transition, identified as male at the time. I guess that could be good. I'm asking my chat, like, what do you do? Anyway, there's nothing more than that. It's how bros talk. I saw Chris's older brother because he reminded me a lot of my older brother. This is talking about Ava Kris Tyson, but this is like, you brought this up during the Elliot Page thing too. I think intention is everything. Yeah. He was 20. He was 20. She was 13. No, she was 20. He was 13. Asmon Gold fans in the chat just want you to say they're a groomer pedophile. Yeah, I know. Anyway. So when I was 16, I asked Mr. Beast, "How hard do you want it, Jimmy?" 68 million people have seen this. So like, this is Lava, the supposed the alleged victim of the grooming, literally tweeting this out.
Evil. Lava, Pluto, assemble!
Hi, how are you?
I need you to make this 10 times harder.
How hard do you want it, Jimmy?
Hard. Evil.
So like, obviously it's like a sexual joke in nature. I mean, he's literally fucking like owning up to that and making a joke about it being sexual in nature, right? And it's just like, obviously it's entirely different. Why? Because Jimmy is a straight male. Okay? The reason why I suspect that the Rolling Stone article is showing that is because there are other straight men involved in this story that are not getting the same kind of coverage as Ava Kris Tyson is. And the reason for why there is a different distinction is because, well, one, how inappropriate their continued conversation is, but also because she's trans, obviously. And right-wingers claim all trans people are pedophiles. Having said that, however, like I've mentioned before, I find it still gross to talk to a 13-year-old online continuously. In May 2020, Lava says Tyson helped him land a job as a production assistant on Beast Gaming. Lava was a moderator on the channel's Discord and Reddit, sometimes appearing in videos and helping out behind the scenes. That July, Lava visited Mr. Beast's compound in North Carolina, posting a picture on X with Tyson Donaldson, as well as Trey Yates, who edited for Mr. Beast from 2018 to 2021 and was the one who hired Lava. It did Dr. Disrespect in? Okay, no. This is entirely different. You have to... Okay. this is actually one aspect of the conversation that I forgot to mention. The reason why this is not the same as Dr. Disrespect is because the victim in the Dr. Disrespect situation, who was also a minor, reported Dr. Disrespect's inappropriate messages to the Twitch portal, which caused Twitch to take action against Dr. Disrespect. The victim, the alleged victim of grooming in this circumstance, has only done the opposite and has once their conversations were made public, turned around and said, I was not groomed. I literally work with the Mr. Beast people, and that it is like, you know, this wasn't a sexual thing at all. Like 2 years later to no, because Twitch didn't fucking know what the messages were until that victim in that circumstance reported it to Twitch, because it happened when the sequence of Me Too allegations were coming out on Twitch. That is a major difference. What? So we're literally hyper-focusing on the trans person and you're continuing this narrative? Like literally you're continuing only focusing on her when it's clear it was them all? Wait, what? Weird but trans. I don't think you understand anything that is going on. So I'm just going to not even respond to you at all. And we're just going to keep going. Lava tells Rolling Stone that he and his parents would stay at a campground every year, which wasn't far from the compound, and that his parents joined him on the visit. Yates, who was also the one who hired Lava at Beast Gaming, shared his side of the story to Rolling Stone. He came to visit because he knew Ava from playing games online. Yates says, Ava wanted Lava to work for the Mr. Beast Gaming channel, and we were happy to bring him in and pay him. Okay? So Tana is also not a victim? Great question. We would not know anything about the Tana situation, which is ironic because it's very similar to the Dr. Disrespect situation, if Tana hadn't come forward about it. So that is, once again, not in the same column. Having said that, however, you're talking about statutory rape and comparing it to an adult having an extended conversation with a minor. These two things are different. One is weird and gross. The other one is called statutory rape. Okay? Like, they had sex. Cody Ko had sexual intercourse with a 17-year-old when he was 25. And also, the victim in that circumstance, 8 years later, came out and talked about it. I'm saying you're continuing to hyper-focus on Ava, man. I know what's going on. I'm not a baby. Okay, if you're not a baby, stop behaving like a baby. Let's continue. On the grooming allegations, Yates saw the way Lava and Tyson interacted and didn't think it was strange or out of the ordinary. There was never any hint of indication that something like that was happening, or even albeit blatant proof that something like that was occurring, he says. Lava stopped working for Mr. Beast Gaming in May 2021, though he and Tyson remained in contact. In July 2023, Tyson came out as trans, which caused a flurry of conversation on the right. One right-leaning creator who had thought about Tyson happened to be Prism42, a YouTuber with 800,000 subscribers, who had found the message between Lava and Tyson on 4chan, though it's unclear how they ended up there. It's not that unclear. Prism felt needed to get his information out, so he claimed he contacted 50 creators, including Turning Point USA CEO Charlie Kirk. Ironic, because even Charlie was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I hate trans people, but like, what? The Catch of Predator host Chris Hansen and YouTube documentarian Mike Klum. There was also EDP445, a creator who in 2021 was caught YouTube vigilante string operation messaging a fake 13-year-old. Klum is currently making a documentary about him. Prism began to message me directly with vague details about an unnamed creator who will be exposed, and he wanted to see if I could help him. Klum tells Rolling Stone, given the nature of the accusations, I said I would take a look if he sent them to me. He began to send me more information about Ava Tyson and what seemed to be generally available screenshots or details that weren't actionable given the work I do. Oh, it's not 800,000. It's just 800. Oh my God. When none of the reach outs gained traction, Prism took another approach. In an interview on the Chud Logic podcast, he said he wanted to emulate the undercover work of disgraced journalist James O'Keefe of Project Veritas wow, this guy seems like a fucking normal person and not a rabid right-wing freakazoid. He is bringing up, he's going on the Chud Logic podcast, and he's bringing up an iconic figure, James O'Keefe. That's his idol. Wow. Anyway, abolish podcast, bro. Abolish it. Mine included. Fuck it. Anyway, let's continue. In June 2023. Hey, by the way, notice what this article is doing. Okay. It's called doing journalism. Okay. When you're doing journalism, even on issues that are controversial, weird, gross, or even damn near criminal, okay, you go to actual sources and you ask them questions, and you don't like make up your mind ahead of time and then just like fire off the hinges and then have the entire right-wing media cycle go out of control, being like, see, trans people are pedophiles. I told you. Okay? That's what people are supposed to do. There's an actual coherent timeline of events here and also sources. Anyway, Prism reached out to Lava in a message seen by Rolling Stone pretending to want to interview an anime fan and that it would be interesting because you worked on the Mr. Beast server. Lava did not answer that message. Dude, by the way, protect the victims guy over here who's like, I'm sorry, dude. You are not interested in actually like identifying what? You denied the Armenian genocide, a genocide of the past, while simultaneously screeching genocide now with your well-documented publicity. It's a form of recency, regional or ethnic bias. If you can find a singular instance where I've denied the Armenian genocide, I will give you $10,000 right now. If there's one instance where I have ever denied the Armenian genocide, I will give you $10,000. You dumb fuck. I have never denied the Armenian genocide. You fucking racist piece of shit. No clip chimps and no AI. Shut up, chatters. Jesus Christ. God, I have the fucking most... I sometimes have the most annoying community. This is one of those moments. Like, y'all are trying to have fucking fun here, but like that guy literally thinks in his mind that I've done this thing in order to make a point about like, in order to make a silly point, by the way, about like the ongoing and active genocide in Gaza. I love spending my birthday like this. It's my favorite way. Like, if you care about the victim, if you look at a situation like this and you legitimately think grooming has happened to a minor, this is not the way to approach the situation at all. If you, on the other hand, think trans people are pedophiles, and I got him, finally, I got one. I caught a situation that I can angle with pedophilic grooming towards a high-profile trans content creator that Mr. Beast has had the audacity to defend. Then you do this where you're like, oh, I just want to interview you. Anyway. For his next attempt, Prism contacted YouTuber Verdius, an 18-year-old with 600 subscribers, and had him reach out to Lava looking for an interview for an editor position. Verdius tells the Rolling Stone that he had no idea that he was being set up or that Lava had anything to do with Tyson or Mr. Beast. He was just looking for an editor. During the interview, Lava says the conversation started with editing questions but quickly devolved into a conversation about internet predators. Prism asked Lava to comment on a video from EDP445 talking about Tyson. On June 13th, Verdius and Prism each released their own video about the Tyson messages, though neither included information from Lava's interview with them. Prism repeatedly misgendered Tyson and included multiple factual inaccuracies, including claiming that the moment he was able to drive, Lava drove himself to the Beast compound, and that the coming photo was sent personally to Lava on Snapchat when Lava claims it was a group message. When reached out for comment, Prism called Rolling Stone fake news and hung up. I really think we have to rehabilitate right wingers like we do. Like, read my last chat. You're missing some information on the story. I just made the greatest homemade margarita pizza. It's a shame your bitch ass can't taste this. It's a shame that you won't be able to speak because you're now permanently banned. Dumbass. Anyway. Oh, let's continue. Both videos went relatively unnoticed until July 18th when YouTube commenter Adrox released a video aggregating the claims that became algorithmic catnip, currently sitting at over 1 million views. From there on, dozens of creators picked up the story, with the largest being Penguinzo, which is sitting at over 7 million views. Prism purposely left out context and did not ask me about specific situations, Lava said. There was nothing bad that happened at all. If I would have told him that, I would have basically invalidated his whole argument, which is why he never asked me these questions. On social media, Prism claims that Tyson talked inappropriately to a 13-year-old, gained viral traction. Anti-LGBTQ activists like Tristan Tate, his brother Andrew, libs of TikTok, have used the story as an excuse to push anti-trans rhetoric. The comment section under Lava's original tweet denouncing the claims is full of comments saying he was groomed and is a gay victim. What? Why did this... Dude, Twitter is so broken! Why is this taking me to Mr. Beast? Oh my God, I'm so mad. I'm so fucking mad. Oh my God, Twitter is so broken. I do think the alleged victim is protecting Ava a bit. There was clearly inappropriate communication between the two. There's receipts I saw on the Issue podcast. No, I agree. I think that the communication between the two was completely inappropriate. I 100% agree with that. Is this the one? Nothing but pure unadulterated transphobia in the replies here. We can hold Ava responsible for her absolutely disgusting actions without needing to degrade the trans community. Yeah, it's just like... That's the link in the tweet you're trying to open. That tweet is responding to the link tweet. In the podcast with Chud Logic, Prism says, I don't believe men can become women with modern technology, but that's not a point I'm going to make because it's separate from the allegations. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Verdia said he tried to keep his coverage unbiased, but posts on Tyson's private Twitter of her son in heels, and that the fact that she followed the Church of Satan may have made him a little bit biased. For those with experience with Tyson, these serious claims seem to be getting co-opted. All of this is just your typical alt-right influencer trying to push something against trans people because they think they have something, Yates says. And that's the end of the article. So ultimately, my assessment, my original assessment, looking at like what I saw, looking at who was saying it, was correct, which is that I think that these back and forth interactions between a 20-year-old and a 13-year-old are still completely unacceptable. Having said that, however, this is not like the trans people are pedophiles narrative that the alt-right is desperately trying to fucking put forward. But they're trying to put that forward while clearly demonstrating that they do not give a fuck about the perceived alleged victim whatsoever, considering that the main quote-unquote YouTube commentators that wanted to fucking uncover this secret story as they presented it had no interest in hearing out the person that was supposedly groomed at all. Ha! Also, I personally think the lolly porn stuff is completely ridiculous, okay? Like, I think it's unconscionable. Except you know who loves that fucking lolly porn shit? All of these fucking weirdo Nazis, who Shatman was one of them, by the way. The guy that they're talking about was literally a fucking weirdo Nazi pedophile, and they all loved him. And they still love lolly porn. Who is Penguinzo? I think I've heard that name before. It's Moist Critical. That's his username on YouTube. Anyway, now that we did that, let's take a look at MAGA Mail. And also, There's a reason why I don't fucking jump the gun on every YouTube drama situation, just like I didn't jump the gun on Dr. Disrespect until he admitted that he sent inappropriate text messages to a fucking minor, which led to his banning on Twitch. Do you know why? When Dr. Disrespect was potentially a pedo and not like openly saying that he was trying to fuck a minor, in between the 2-day time frame or the 1-day time frame, I said, hold on, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say allegedly, because there's a difference between like immediately reacting to a situation and running the fucking table and trying to get a better assessment. Okay. Yeah. I mean, a lot of influencers were fans of Shad back then, including Susu JPEG and Jessica Negri. That's what I'm saying. It's like weird as fuck to me. I don't get it. But yeah, this is the Cope and Seeth YouTube that like have an incredible fucking thread of like all of the YouTubers who were fans of Shadman. Sky Williams, it says. I don't know who that is. Like defending, right? Who's Sky Williams? I don't know who this is. Right? Like, in my opinion, I'm on the fence completely. On the one side, I'm like, if somebody's creating art that acts out these sick, disgusting acts, does that keep them from making it happen? Or does it fuel it? It's non-quantifiable, but it's certainly fascinating. Don't apologize. It's jarring images. It's scary to see actual real people enjoy like that. Dolan Dark responding to Shadman over and over again, it seems. Elvis the Alien apparently responding to Shadman. Cosplayers. The only reason why I'm showing this is because a lot of this was just like a part of meme culture online. This does not normalize it. In my opinion, it was still gross and weird back then. I just did not understand what the fucking fascination was with like lolly creating weirdos. Okay. But, you know, I doubt that like, I doubt that all of these people are getting fucking yelled at in the same way. Also, the initial expose was by a weird transphobic creep who was trying to protect the victim and try to get a victim to confess. Yeah, I know. We just read the Rolling Stones article. Bro, why were you looking at that? What do you mean? Looking at what? People cosplaying as Shadman? Anyway, I just realized that this thread has like 50 fucking content creators who have like associated themselves with him, while also simultaneously like there's hentai and shit on here as well. So I'm not going to show you this entire list, but you can go check it out on your own if you want. From how I remember it, people love Shadman because he was LOL Rule 34, your favorite cartoon, and I'm unsure how many people knew of the lolly, but I'm sure plenty did, and people were wild on the internet back then, so I don't know. Is there an earthquake happening? Yeah. Also, in the process, due to Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr. Beast, like loyalty to Ava Chris Tyson, until this moment, people are now punishing him with the same cancel culture bullshit. Fans dig up old content of Mr. Beast seemingly being racist and speaking on a 14-year-old bad baby. Let's be real. Would you put your dick in her? Like at this point, I think he was literally a fucking teenager. This doesn't excuse the content, but I'm just trying to reframe it so that people understand that it's not like he was literally a child. Shadman, Drew Keemstar's daughter, such a fucking creep. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. We talked about that yesterday. I think Shadman was arrested for trying to draw CSAM, child sexual abuse material, like trying to trace it, which meant that he had child sexual abuse material. And I believe he went to prison, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway. No, he was arrested for stabbing a homeless man. What? If we can get him canceled for his comments on black people, maybe he'll make a video undoing the effects of urban renewal. I don't think that's happening anytime soon, big dog. Bro, just put the fries in the bag. Yes, you're right. He was 20, bro. Lol. Bro, just put the fries in the bag. You're right. I am. This is it. This is the final moments of my career. I'm going away tomorrow. I'm gonna start my I'm gonna start my fucking McDonald's job tomorrow. Okay. Let's hear what Lud Mogul Mail had to say about it.
I don't sound like I normally do. I probably don't even look like I normally do. And the answer for that simple, I'm in Paris. I'm on vacation with my mother and my sister, visiting my French family. And I figured I can take a week off. No big deal. Nothing major is going to happen in the time that I'm gone. And the week that I've been gone, Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race. I was featured on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, which is cool. And there have been a bunch, and I mean a bunch of allegations about Ava Kris Tyson. Now, bear with me here. It is 1:30 a.m. My family's sleeping. I'm doing the best I can. I got a damn MacBook with 800 tabs open because we're going to go through as many of the credible allegations as I was able to find and actually discuss, what is legitimate, what is not legitimate, how do you discern all that? And before we jump in,
this fucking son of a bitch was on John Oliver before me. It's Jover, Tim Pool, and now MAGA Mail. It's obvious that the type of content creators that they are, the type of content creators that they're having on this fucking show are of a certain ideological variety.
Into anything, it's worth noting, Ava is trans, but I'm not going to talk about that after this. I think it's pretty irrelevant, right? I'm just going to discuss what actually and factually happened.
Okay, that's definitely, I think Ava Kris Tyson being trans is a very important part of the story. It is part of the reason why there's so much reaction to the story. It is part of the reason why so many people are like yelling at content creators, including himself, over not covering the story fast enough. That literally is perhaps one of the more important parts of the story. And I think that, I don't know. I think it's not correct to say it's not part of the story. If it was not a part of the story, then every single person on the Mr. Beast franchise would be getting canceled for similar, if not the same level of communications, but like similar edgy humor that they've demonstrated. The right is very good at taking a story and splitting it into two stories in such a way that you can't talk about one without referencing the other. All right, let's continue.
The same that I did with the doc, the same that I will do with Cody Ko. Like all three of those people are white. I'm not going to make a point about them all being white. In the same way I won't make a point about Doc being straight. In the same way I won't make a point about Ava being trans. Don't think it's relevant. I'll just refer to her as she. And then the shit that she did that I think is bad, call it out the same. Anyway, jumping into it, the first thing, and I think the most egregious and like definitely factually happened thing is pertaining to lolly drawings. Which is basically like, and I'm just reading here from an article, which is basically underaged art of girls, which is crazy to use the word art there. But there is a notorious lolly artist called Shadman who I've like heard about in passing, but has a few big controversies under his belt. The first one is that he made like sexual art of Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter giving
like completely gross, completely unacceptable, like insane, okay? Straight up. And you guys know I am not a fan of Keemstar, okay? Keemstar is not a fan of mine. I consider him to be a truly abhorrent, toxic individual. That is like, I mean, there's nothing else to say. It's just so unacceptable. That's it.
Donald Trump a blowjob. That's a real thing that he actually did that was out there on the internet because he lost a bet, which is a crime. Shouldn't happen. I don't give a shit what you think about Keemstar. It's just all fucking horrible things to do. And also drew art of Daphne Keene, who is an actress who was 12 at the time, and in the movie Logan being molested and beaten up. So really, the guy went from maybe drawing like Lolly, which is like supposed to be fictional anime 1,000-year-old dragon characters, to just like real children, human in the real world in sexual positions, which is like a fucking crime, at least in my book. So anyway, that's Shadman. That is the artist who did all this. And what is Ava's relationship to Shadman? Well, it seems like for years, an avid follower or perhaps fan. And this video by Adrox distills it pretty well and talks, I'm just going to highlight a few of the key moments here about their relationship.
There are two versions of her in the show. In one, she's 17, and in the other, she's 10.
This is talking about a certain anime character.
Shadman posted a 10-year-old version stating, "What is this, and why do people keep sending me this?" Ava replied underneath saying, "Please, Shad, please. I believe everyone on the..."
Now, it's pretty obvious what Ava is saying there when she's writing, "Please, Shad, please." It's like, please make, lolly art of this, which is like a generally weird thing to do. But that's not where it ends with the Shadman arc. It's pretty obvious based off a live stream that Ava did that she was a frequent browser of Shadman's website as well.
Ava will post a clip from their live stream where they accidentally visited Shadman's website. What's even weirder is that they gave him a shout out stating, "Shout out to Shadbase for having safe for work drawings today. I accidentally put up his website on stream."
Which is like, not only doing it, but then also like tweeting it out has a level of normalcy that shouldn't exist with a person like Shadman who draws the shit that he does, right? But the most egregious part of the relationship between Shad and Ava is a drawing that like people are theorizing might have been like contracted, like she might have paid for, or at the very least bought a print of, and that's this drawing here that's blurred out.
Girl wearing a "Please be patient, I have autism" cap, pointing a gun at her mouth. She has a fidget spinner as an earring and a spade tattoo on her thigh that says BBC, which we all know what it means. On November 18,
we do all know.
Ava responded to a tweet from Grande and Mr. Beast stating, "This is coming from a guy who owns a Shad-based drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room."
And now people thought that was a joke, maybe. Like some people maybe just read this as like edgy. You don't actually have a Shadman drawing. But it was later discovered this is featured.
Sorry, I've only been intermittently paying attention. Isn't this lolly shit illegal? Like, it feels as if it should be illegal. It is very much not illegal. It should be, but it's not. It's literally, I don't understand why people, like, some people crank to it. I think there's also a lot of people crank to it, which is fucking insane and gross and should be illegal. I think some people think it's like edgy again, which I still put in the same camp. Jail. This is like, I don't think you guys understand, okay? I don't think you guys understand something. This is very important. Before the online right collectively decided that every gay and trans person was a groomer pedophile, okay, they all loved making pedophilia jokes, making inferences to pedophilia, like behaving like they were pedophiles. Like every edgy person, okay, which happened to be predominantly on the right, libertarians and the like, loved this type of shit. When I try to explain this to you, there are some who might have even had in their own background and in their own time when they were, behaving in this weird way. Perhaps maybe they also did similar jokes and shit like that. Now, what's done is done. What's in the past is in the past. As long as you've like grown from that, okay, learn from your mistakes, recognize that shit is like weird as fuck and you no longer do that, that's fine. I never did it. I thought it was fucking weird, but I totally do understand like how normalized it was for a lot of the people who despised me back then, some of which still do it, by the way, like all the fucking Lolly fans. Like, it's hilarious because we were talking about like Lolly. We're talking about Lolly, right? Like, and how unacceptable and inappropriate it is. Asmongold was talking about the Kris Ava Tyson situation. I don't know if he actually brought up Shadman, but he literally every day watches a Lolly VTuber describe all of the latest and greatest in the fucking Gamergate world. So like, how do you exist in this space where on the one hand you're like, man, this Lolly shit's weird and gross, okay? While you literally watch like a Lolly YouTuber, a Lolly VTuber on a daily fucking basis. So I just don't get it. Maybe some of it is acceptable and others are not. Like, I don't know what it is. I find it all very strange and gross, for the record. Okay? I don't think it's appropriate. I think it's weird as fuck. Straight up. Isn't Lolly VTuber redundant? I mean, yeah. No. Yes and no. I don't fucking know. I think there's differences. Like, Lolly and Shota for that guy. Apparently, Shota is when it's like Lolly but male. What? Oh, this.
So the Gamergate situation roars on, and today we have some more game journalists to laugh at because there's been a...
This is the guy that Asmongold watches every fucking day, by the way. So, like, I don't get it. I actually don't understand it. Because if you go on Twitter right now, there's people being like, bro, that's gross, Shadman. Like, I can't believe Ava Kris Tyson was commissioning Shadman, which I think is gross and weird. I do, okay? I do. But you can't say that if you're fucking watching Lolly VTubers on a regular fucking basis and simultaneously have like a Lolly VTuber avatar or some shit. Have the fucking Nazis on the Nazi website, Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. Now it's called X. Nobody calls it that. Have Lolly Groiper PFPs. What are we doing? Like, what is it? It's just like, it's cool when you do it. It's not cool across the board. Don't. I just don't understand it. Yeah, little Nazi lolly avatars with SS's on them being like, yeah, what the fuck? Speedrunning Hasan's collapse in humanity on his birthday part 2. Anyway.
In a actual Mr. Beast video. It's like a Mr. Beast like buying my friend or pizza driver a home video. And here is that exact drawing you can see in the corner that I assume is Ava's drawing that was in this home. So like not only was talking to Shadman on
what? Lolly PFPs are fine. It's people sexualizing them that is the issue, but also Japan is doing nothing to stop this. No. Lolly PFPs are not fine, man. What the fuck?
On Twitter, like pulling up the website on stream by accident, but even like buying the prints of this dude who is literally just drawing child porn. Like there's no other way. He's just doing that. So this is 100% true. This 100% happened and is fucked up. Is a bad thing to have in your past. And so if you've seen anything of that happened. Moving on, next allegation. Because again, these all kind of like came crashing down, similar timing. I feel like once the first allegation caught wind, a bunch more got added too. And another one that's just 100% factually true is like an old video of Ava where she shares revenge porn pics of Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly. I'll just play the clip here.
How's it going, you guys? So maybe tomorrow, because Nickelodeon has that kind of power. But the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that, people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it. First off, what I have to say.
And then
By the way, this is like literally what I was saying earlier. Like, this is weird as fuck, right? It's weird as fuck. This is from an era where both Kris Tyson and Mr. Beast, and I don't know how to like correctly cover this, but they were, Mr. Beast still is male, but Kris Tyson at the time, alongside Mr. Beast, were like they were like edgy young YouTube white boys. Okay, it's not to say that I'm not saying Kris Tyson is a man or a boy or anything. I'm simply saying that like their outward presentation at the time was edgy white boys, and it's still bad, and it was bad back then. Okay, but like understand that all of these people who are currently yelling at Kris Tyson are still edgy white boys online. You know what I mean? Fucking got the shit out of that bug. So like, this is this is like the weird dynamic. It's like, anyway, let's continue.
And Ava goes on to say that like you shouldn't share revenge porn pics, and it's like wrong to do, and people like Perez Hilton are bad for doing it. But then like does it, like just says and presumably put the link to just pornographic pics of Jeanette McCurdy in the description of like I'm assuming a YouTube video here. So this happened. It was a weird thing to do. It felt like it was an attempt at being journalistic or thorough, but was actually just a fucked up thing to do. So that 100% true. Next, there are these screenshots and screen recordings of tweets that are going around that have a bunch of likes and views on Twitter. And I'm just going to share them here real quick. You can see, "We could play Fortnite. I beat you last time." This is the presumably 14-year-old who was talking to Ava, who was allegedly 18 at the time.
Yeah, this is fake, isn't it? This was just like, I think some of these were fake. Yeah, they just like made fake. It wasn't enough. Like, the weird shit can't just stay weird. You have to also just like push further to like really drive home the wedge and really drive home the narrative. It says "today" at the top. Like, oh my God.
And then, "You don't want anything expensive for your birthday? I could spoil you. I don't know. It's fine." These messages are just fake. These are just 100% fake Twitter messages. I don't know how so many people got tricked into believing them.
How?
They literally.
How, Ludwig? How do you think? You remember the thing that you said you weren't going to mention any longer after the beginning of the fucking story? That's how. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $6 or for free with the Twitch Prime. And also because Ava is trans. So, of course, it's called motivated reasoning. Okay? This is being reported by Keystar, who literally killed someone. Yeah, that's another part of this story. Anyway. People have biases, and they love having their biases be reaffirmed, be confirmed. Okay? Keemstar killed someone? Yes. Urged someone to kill themselves, which then they ended up doing. Yes, Etika. Rest in peace. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Okay.
He says "today" like on the screenshot with these messages, which is impossible, because how would the screenshot, even if the person, the kid or whatever, were to have screenshotted it today, like 8 years ago, it says Kris Tyson, and Ava did not transition until years later. So if this is from 2020 and Ava didn't transition until 2023, how is it possible that the screenshot?
They did it with Dr. Disrespect too, but hey, I guess it's motivated. No, they didn't do it with Dr. Disrespect. Dr. Disrespect did it to himself. Okay? What are you talking about? What are you talking? Half the fucking people that are chirping online right now are still actively defending Dr. Disrespect. As a matter of fact, I go so far as to say that like the reason why they started yelling at like Pokimane and Valkyrie and shit was because they had the audacity to say yuck or Dr. Disgusting. So they came down and were like immediately start talking about how every trans person is a pedophile or we will fucking kill you. You're hypocritical. You're hypocritical. You're hypocritical. They are using this to defend Dr. Disrespect. Okay? These fucking freaks do not give a single fuck about victims. Holy fuck, they need to rot on 4chan where they belong. But they're not on 4chan anymore. They're on Twitter. Anyway.
Existence as today. The answer, because it's
That chatter has a lolly pic confirmed. Wait, really? No shot. Shut the fuck up. Where is the chatter? What is the username of that fucking chatter?
fucking fake. And it's even just fake by reading it. I mean, look at this shit. It's Ava going, I love you. Oh, I meant I love playing Minecraft with you. Obviously fake. Insane that people believe this. I think a lot of people honestly are people who might have just hated Ava.
Yeah, I wonder why. Why would that have happened? Did they precog that she was in chat rooms sending weird messages to 13-year-olds? No. They didn't precog that. No, because they're fucking transphobic. That's it.
And then trying to find a reason to hate Ava. There are valid reasons to do it. Like the Shadman one, right? Like the Jeanette McCurdy thing. That is a valid reason. You don't have to make up shit. I think that's pretty fair. Don't make up shit to be mad at someone for when there's legitimate shit to be mad at them for, right? The next one is a Snapchat conversation that's been going around that has just like a few sort of out of context messages, just like saved messages, archived messages from Ava. One of them is like sharing that Belle Delphine is going to sell bath water. Another one is just saying, thanks, Dad. And this is a trend we'll see later on. We'll talk about that in a minute, but that's something that Ava does a lot. And then just other conversations, like vague posts.
It's
Nothing
not
too weird, but bear in
Bro, that's not a lolly avatar, okay? Impossible. When you play in 5v5, I'm playing 5v5 on Saturday, chatter. Why are you even defending her? I'm not. I don't know how many different languages I need to fucking say this, okay? I think it is completely fucking inappropriate to be messaging 13-year-olds online, okay? Especially after you find out that they're 13 and you continue a conversation, okay? Having said that, however, this would not be a fucking story if Ava Kris Tyson had never come to terms with their gender, okay? And came out as trans. If you think that this would be a conversation that would drive discourse for this long, okay? Look at all the other people. They don't give a fuck about the Cody Co situation. That one, there's like literally a crime that took place. It's outside, it's beyond the statute of limitations in the state of Florida, but like a literal fucking crime took place and people don't give a shit. There's like, they don't care. Okay. I'm so confused. Is Kris her dead name? No. So I think because she is a public person with a massive profile and was like known by the name Kris, she did this thing where she made it her middle name. And I think it was because, Kris with a K and not Kris. I think it's just accommodation, okay? Trans people have to do a lot of this stuff in general. They shouldn't have to, but they do. And I think for her, she especially had to do it because, you know, she was a public person for longer as a male presenting individual than a trans woman.
in mind, these are snap conversations with like a 14-year-old when Ava was like college age, I believe like 19 years old. And these are 100% legitimate. It comes from this guy, Young No Name, and said after posting these pictures online, I'll only say that in regards to the Snapchats and messages that went crazy that I took down. it is weird to send those messages to a 14-year-old because Young No Name was 14 at the time, but it never went past the edgy jokes at all. As for all the other stuff, I can't say. And then went a little more defensive today and said most of these texts by Kris Tyson were taken with no context, and they did not go further than the jokes in the snaps. Kris could have been replying to anything I sent.
Excuse, he was calling you guys out and was hanging out with Cheezer. Yeah. I mean, dude, if you're a kick streamer, you don't have a say in this conversation at all, okay? If you're a fan of kick streamers openly, like, you have no say in this convo. Like, see yourself out of this fucking conversation. Walk right out of this conversation, okay? Get the fuck out of here. Like, what are we talking about, man? Are we serious?
There was no bad intention of the messages between us. The other stuff I cannot speak for.
That's so
basically
funny.
saying, like, after posting the messages himself,
yeah. The strangest thing is how kick streamers do pedo hunting streams, but never stream snipe each other. Yeah, I don't know. How do you not cross those streams ever? Yeah, it's just unique. It's a unique situation. It's just like, damn, man, I'm the best pedo hunter out there. And it's just like, seemingly there's so many on the platform that I'm streaming on. Okay. Does Rage count? No, Rage doesn't count. He's fine. He's chill.
it was just edgy.
You didn't go to a brothel that got busted for underage workers? No, dumbass. No. I did not go to a brothel that was busted for underage workers. 14-month subscriber. How do you get this fucking brain broken? Edgy white boys, when you like pedophilic drawings, nice of Lud to experiment with the first underwater microphone. 14-month subscriber. How does this happen to your brain? Like, genuinely. Okay? They're bringing back the old hits. Yeah. No, dude. Every type of fucking slander on that avenue is just objectively made up. Okay? This drama is so old they can legally drive. This drama is so old. If people were if people were messaging this drama in Discord servers, no one would actually be afraid or be upset by it. He's a sub because he thinks it's awesome to bang underage women, Lamau. Yeah. I love that I went to a brothel. They got fucking raided for tax evasion 10 years later. Okay? And people act like I'm Jeffrey Epstein. I was like, this is like, brothels definitely do a fuck ton of weird shit. Okay? For sure. Like a fuck ton. And sex trafficking does occur. It's just that, like, this one particular brothel that I did go to is like a tourist destination. And not only that, but also it's like it successfully sued the German, the German city of Berlin. Oof, guilty, Lamau. I've honestly never even heard of that platform. Yeah, guilty of going to a brothel that did tax evasion 10 years later. Yeah. Was illegally raided and they won a settlement with the city. In a country where it's like legal and government controlled, for the record. Anyway. Yes, I went to the brothel to help them do tax evasion, for the record. Let the record show. That chatter you had up left? Oh, they did? They just dropped that in and left? How? Wait, no, I don't get it. Why would you give a shooter distance? Who Omega Law? Bronny can beat you, bro. Stop fronting. You still sling ads for Amazon? Why are you fronting? Gambling ads are crazy. Bro, you were literally calling a black man coconuts a few weeks ago? This guy is crazy. I can't get a beat on him that, like, his political ideology is like fucking all over the place. I would suspect that he's just like an average Destiny fan who, you know, stays subbed so he can avoid the top of the hour ad breaks and also hate better.
Jokes. But this is a trend of Ava sending edgy jokes to like teens. right? What, like younger teens, excuse me, while being like, 19 years old, sending it to 14-year-olds. Because it didn't just happen with Young No Name. It also happened with this guy, Nathan, who made a video, and I'll just play a clip from here.
I was definitely uncomfortable at being called daddy by a 20-year-old. Even just thinking about it now, it's just uncomfortable.
And now you might be wondering, like, okay, how do you even end up in a position as like a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, whatever it is, talking to, 14, 15-year-olds? And it seems like a lot of this started from work. These are basically all people who at one point or another were part of like a Discord server and acting as Discord mods.